His architectural work reflects his divinity that won him 2 national awards. His interiors work reflects his sensitivity with which he trained hundreds of students. His products reflect his creativity, which set new trends across the globe. The living legend, Mr. Subodh Dhairyawan, architect, interior designer, product designer, thinker, musician, and poet. The man with a heart of gold, the man whose life is dedicated to art, the man with no limit to his vision, thinking, and generosity. To know him better, you may visit www.subodhdhairyawan.com. Thank you. Surfaces made a volume, volume made a space, sometimes big, sometimes small, silent yet desolate. To make a meaningful space, an appropriate spirit is needed. Otherwise, a space remains archaeological remains. Good day friends, today we have with us architect Mr. Subodh Dhairyawan. Mr. Subodh has won 2 national awards for his architectural work. He has worked in the USA for 15 years and in India for 25 years. In addition to his architectural practice, he is also an interior designer, product designer, thinker, poet, musician, and an academician. He is a sensitive and intellectual artist whose life is dedicated to art, and he is above materialism, competition, and rat race. He was my professor in Kamla Raheja College of Architecture. Sir, welcome to our studio. It's an honor to have you here.
Thank you.
Sir, you spent 3 years at NID when that institute was also young. So how was that experience?
That place has a very good vibrations. And it was pleasure to work. Sometimes we used to work there for 18 hours a day. And still we didn't feel any fatigue.
Okay.
That was the greatest thing there. I also learnt to be a total designer there. My background was architectural background. But being at the institute, we learned graphics, we learned photography, we were prepared to be like kind of planners and urban planners. Plus, you learned many other graphic designs and many other disciplines. By the way, I forgot to mention that NID was really like the Bauhaus of India in those days. Everything was under one roof, I would say, all the disciplines of design. And Ahmedabad was a very, very nice place to be in. In a sense, it was hardly populated. So, Pardi was hardly populated. So, it was real fun. I mean, we really had fun for 3 years and a lot of work too.
So, you worked in the United States for about 15 years. So, how was that experience?
In the United States, I had opportunity to work with an urban designer and planner, and then I also worked as a furniture and product designer. And the experience at NID helped me a lot there. Finally, I was made the R&D of that furniture design institution, and then I decided to come back to practice on my own. That was, I think, around 82, 83.
So is it different from India, and how is it different? How is it better than United States? Because there are many young students who want to go to United States now. Now also. So they've been of United States, and you have already been there, and you have worked there for 15 years.
Right. I think what has happened. The states have changed a little bit. All of a sudden, because of the oil crunch, the prices went high up. Of anything. Otherwise, USA was a kind of really a land of milk and honey, as any Jewish guy would say or any Indian would say. Now it's difficult in the sense that dollar doesn't go too far. And our students have to really work hard to earn their living in order to pay their fees, But I think it's an experience. One should go, one should be there, one should see how they deal with environment, as what we do it again here in India. It could be very useful experience,
So I and all of your students will agree that you've been a fantastic teacher. So where did you learn your teaching skills?
I think, as you know, Louis Kahn was an excellent teacher. He used to talk about different things and then draw at the same time about when we were working on IM complex. But the real thing, you would be surprised that late Mr. Sultan Khan, my guru, I learned from him a lot. His way of teaching was, he used to pick up one musical phrase and show us a direction. See, this is one way you can go ahead. This is second way you can go ahead. And this is the way I approach to it. Play with me for 3 times at least. And then be on your own, find your own direction. And I thought that was the greatest thing that I learned. And I taught the similar way to my students also. I always give them the independence to do it and show them different directions. That's about it. And they worked out, they came up with their own solutions on design thinking.
Sir, you taught at various institutions before joining Kamla Raheja College. I'm sure you had tremendous contribution in Kamla Raheja College, but we as students never got to know about them. It will be interesting for us to know what are your achievements and your contribution at Kamla Raheja College.
I think one of the contribution, I would say, the first one, I made sure that we got the faculties, because we had no faculties there. Kamla Raheja was kind of in Upanagar, it was in suburbs, and there were teachers teaching at the other side of the town. And I made sure that I picked up teachers who were very, very, very committed type of teachers, very, very well informed, very well knowledgeable, and that includes late Mr. Tatke, Mr. Anand Pandit, Mr. Kudarkar. He still teaches building technology today at KRBI. And I think collecting these people and also young faculty, collecting young faculty and being with them was the biggest contribution I think I have for Kamla Raheja. The second thing I did work out a foundation course, basic design course for NRD, KRBI. And the third one, that I insist on having a design cell. The idea behind that was that our students would work on actual projects, and that way they will get a professional training instead of going out and being under any other architect. Everything could be under one roof, and students would be benefited by various faculty that we have.
Many people believe that as per your seniority, you would have been the director of Kamla Raheja College of Architecture. But you refused that position. Why so?
Yeah, you know, Hitesh, you have been with me for all these years, 5 years. I am not cut out to be an administrator. I can't take whip in my hand and get the work done. I am born academician. I teach myself in order to teach somebody else. And teaching is my first priority. And therefore I said that administration is not my bag. I am not cut out to be an administrator. And I refused that position.
After your retirement from Kamla Raheja College, have you thought of teaching again?
Yeah, I was not doing well to begin. My health was not doing well. And I was on my trip to Australia and met with an accident. And for about 1.5, 2 years, I was lying in a bed because my leg was fractured. And I didn't have any contacts with any institutions, including Kamla Raheja. So now I'm okay. So if anybody wants me, anybody invites me, I'm most delighted to share my experience with the students. And I said that indirect teaching is my bag. I will teach it that way, not particularly architecture. I could be talking about architecture sometime, I could be talking about music, I could be talking about poetry sometime, I could be talking about something else, painting. Painting is my kind of Sunday hobby, you can say. I don't have anything with me now to show you what paintings that I have. But one day I hope maybe I would be able to do the exhibition, or what you are doing now, it probably could be shown to public, and that's it.
As far as creativity is concerned, lots of new students, new artists, they get confused about creativity. They don't know what are the techniques to be creative, what is the procedure to be creative. Because creativity is a technique which is not taught at an academic institution up till 12th standard. Until 12th standard, we are mostly into memorizing textbooks, and creativity remains untouched. So when we come in architectural college, when we come in the art field, it is very difficult for us to find out how to be more creative. So what are the techniques? Like, say for example, there could be techniques like meditation, relaxation, or maybe going for a walk, or maybe taking a break from work. So all these techniques, what are the techniques that you follow for creativity?
I think I won't be able to tell you about how the creativity, I think it's sometimes a part of it is in your genes. That you have to do something else, something different than what it is like. Even in my case, my favorite word, when I approach to any problem, any project, suppose, I make a supposition and start looking at any product or anything that I have to do or design or work or paint, and something else comes out of it.
Right.
So this kind of things could be taught.
Right.
My basic design, my foundation course, put a stress on this, that use some magic words like suppose.
Right.
That supposition takes you to the imaginative level of what is not there now, but it could be something else, So that was number one. And number two is that magnify things, minimize things, see what happens with the things, see what we can get. Observe, take a flower, take a section through flower and see how it looks, instead of just taking a face value of a flower. Take any fruit, cut a section, take a look at it, how it looks from inside, instead of seeing only the outside, what we did in our drawing exams when we were in schools, So develop that curiosity is the fundamental thing, I suppose, to develop your creativity also, See it various. Curiosity is the first thing that would lead you to something else, What the thing, how the things are done, how the things are put together, how they work. And that's how you develop that creativity. Is there any other way of putting it together? Besides this, and if you have done that, is there yet another way? And therefore I gave you the example of Sultan Ghaz's Sarangi plane. There are many directions that you can go. You have to just find your own, and that's about it. And be honest to it. And you have won it.
So apart from this, it is very much agreed that creativity is in genes and it takes a matter of practice. But all creative artists, they get creative blocks. Sometimes they just feel so saturated that they don't know what to do. Now in such cases, are there any tricks, any techniques like meditation, relaxation? I read a book in which the author said that he suggests some 51 tricks.
Yeah.
And he said you go out for a walk. And you just do nothing for 2-3 days. Or the object which you design, you keep it outside the window, keep it at different places. You check out the possibilities. As you rightly said, then you take a section of the thing, or you look at it in a different way.
Right.
So, are there any tricks, specifically the students can follow? Because the only trick which we have learned in the academic career up till the 12th standard is to memorize the things. When you don't understand, you just memorize. And even in the architecture college also, or any design college, I have noticed that whenever a student is not successful in doing anything, the teacher has only one thing to say: work hard, work hard. But in which direction to work hard? that the student does not know.
Yeah.
So there is no point in working hard on the thing which you don't know about.
Yeah, that's true. See what happens.
Follow the
Yeah, the
techniques.
tricks is the third one, what you mentioned.
Yeah.
That just keeping it in front of you, the object or whatever,
Right.
and keep on looking at it
Right.
for few days.
Right.
Don't do anything.
Okay.
It lies around. I mean, don't even think it. And all of a sudden you will find that if you turn it a little bit here or there,
Right.
it takes you somewhere else. It takes it altogether different shape.
Right.
So that's the way I do an approach to my work. I'll give example. Suppose is my magic word, as I must have told you before also, that there is a candle that I worked out, and the candle, I thought, suppose if that wick is not lit,
Right.
and all of a sudden, because the wax is palpable and wax is highly flammable, inflammable, British would say.
Okay.
Suppose if it happens that it just lights from within,
Right.
what happens? And that idea gave me to make that particular lamp, which you will see, of course, in the slide that you have.
It is there.
Suppose the cube that you see.
Right.
I said, suppose if I have a sugar cube that is more than, say, half inch by half inch, suppose it's about 4 inches by 4 inches. And suppose if I had some orange color, we have this, what do you call, thanda, cool, those things that...
Maza, fruity.
Fruity and the things that we see on the footpath, What would happen to that sugar cube,
Yeah.
One, it should be colorful, beautiful, orange one, and one could be white. Only, but the size would be different,
Right.
So here what I did is just magnified that to half inch by half inch cube into 4 inches by 4 inches, So that supposition can take you a step ahead, So that's, could be very helpful for students who are never taught this kind of thing in a school,
Right.
And so patience is the only thing that lacks, I think, in our design schools. That unfortunately they have X amount of weeks for design teaching, X amount of weeks for construction.
Right.
But it has never happened that way.
Right.
It's a continuous process.
That's the problem.
Finally, I have to build it. What I draw here. Finally, I have to build it. So construction comes in a way.
Right.
Construction is there.
Right.
The structure is there.
Right.
So these divisions, they make some kind of harm to students. I will tell you my example. I remember when I came to 4th year, I tried to collect all the subjects that I learned, including surveying leveling of 1st year, and mechanics and theory of structures. And I realized in 4th year that when we bring all these things together, we make a building.
Okay.
So you can imagine. So if my teaching or my training is such that right from the beginning, I show them very slowly, this is the way it works, This is the way the tap works. This is the pipe works. This is the way flush works. Then people would know that there is no separation between two subjects. It's only every one.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your time. It was a pleasure and in fact an honor to have you here. I am sure the audience will benefit a lot from your answers and the knowledge which you have given in this interview.
It's my pleasure answering your questions. I love to do that all the time.